In the wonderful world of college football, the transfer portal has become a necessity for programs to continue to build tremendous rosters. Notre Dame has utilized it over the last couple years, and in a lot of instances, it has absolutely worked out. But I want to talk about the biggest steal for the transfer portal for Notre Dame over the last couple years. Let's talk about defensive back Jordan Clark. Ryan Roberts, A to Z Sports, talking everything Notre Dame football. Want to talk about my biggest steal in the transfer portal for the Notre Dame Fighting Irish over the last couple years, and I ended up settling on starting nickel, defensive back, Jordan Clark, formerly of Arizona State, played for the Sun Devils for 5 years before transferring for his final year in 2024 with the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. I sat down and I looked at the transfer portal additions over the last couple years, guys, and of course we know about the big names. Sam Hartman, Riley Leonard, Brandon Joseph, even a couple years ago now at this point, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, who was in contention for this conversation because he very much outperformed what I thought he was going to be at the University of Notre Dame. But Notre Dame has really struck gold. Thomas Harper is in that conversation, the former graduate transfer from Oklahoma State who played 2023 with Notre Dame as well. But I really took a step back and evaluated everyone, to even obviously the more recent class with Bo Collins and Chris Mitchell and a lot of good football players. I think you could even throw like John Sott, the former Ivy League punter who did an incredible job at Notre Dame. You could throw them into that conversation, and they all have valid responses and valid reasons if that was your most underrated transfer portal addition for Notre Dame over the last couple years. But I settled on Jordan Clark because over the last 3 years or so, Notre Dame has had tremendous play at the nickel position, and it's a position now that is a starter position. We can talk about the 4-2-5 that Notre Dame runs. We can talk about the starting rover position, quote unquote, but in actuality, the nickel position is playing more than the rover is. So that is a starting position in my book, and it obviously gets the volume of such. We have seen Tariq Bracy, who was incredible his final year in 2022 when healthy. 2023, really underrated football player in Thomas Harper. We went into this year with a similar question of who is the next nickel? How good that position be? Because on paper, we knew Benjamin Morrison, you knew Christian Gray, you knew Xavier Watts. You expected someone of a Don Schuler, Rod Hurd, or someone to be an upgrade at safety with the departed DJ Brown from the previous year. You expected the secondary to be very good, but nobody truly knew what to expect from the nickel position. And when you compare him to Bracy, you compare him to Harper, I would argue that so far, Jordan Clark has been the best nickel that Notre Dame has had over the last several years. Guys, it is not an exaggeration to talk about how good he has been in the blue and gold so far. And he's been an invaluable member. You can look at the numbers, and the numbers don't tell the full story. You'll see 13 tackles, you'll see a tackle for loss, you'll see 3 pass breakups, but he has been lockdown. He's been money in coverage and also an incredible open field tackler. And to talk about the value of Jordan Clark, when your secondary is banged up and you're in a game where Benjamin Morrison is limited and Christian Gray is out, what does Jordan Clark do for you against Louisville? He flexes out and plays outside corner against one of the better wide receiver groups in college football and not only holds his own, but I would say played very good football against Louisville. This isn't just a nickel. This isn't just a safety if you need him in that role. This isn't just an outside corner. Jordan Clark has been invaluable to one of the best defenses in all of college football. So quick shout out, Jordan Clark. Notre Dame has had some really nice underrated additions from the portal. Again, John Sott, Javonte Jean-Baptiste, Thomas Harper, among others. But I would say, for me, Jordan Clark has been the sneakiest and most underrated portal addition for Notre Dame over the last several years. Folks, Navy, Ryan Roberts, A to Z Sports, let's get the W this week. And as always, you know the drill. Go Irish.